Hello, Devlin here with you, and welcome to my weekly pirate radio show. And today is not just any show. Today is my Valentine's Day show. Since I've been doing this for close to a year now, I'm actually a couple of weeks away from like 1 year I have done this. This is probably one of the last holidays that I have not had a specialty show for. Okay, I may have missed Arbor Day or Family Day or a couple of other those little ones, but as far as the major one goes, I think I did something for all of them. So why not do something for Valentine's Day? And I think it's going to be a good show. I actually like Valentine's Day. I seem to like holidays when other people don't. I know a lot of people complain, oh, it's become too commercialized and stuff. And when I start hearing people moan about that kind of stuff, I just kind of like it even more, only because it's ridiculous. Every holiday has pretty much become commercialized. It doesn't matter which one. And if you don't even, want to subscribe to that, weddings have become too commercialized. Children being born, make sure you get the right gift for the shower, everything's commercialized. So don't give me this, oh, Valentine's is just too commercialized. Yes, the first time they put out a thing, it became a commercialized holiday. I also know some people that say, I don't need a special day to celebrate. And that's true. That's true. Mike and I don't really celebrate it quite as much as when we first dating. A lot of people think it's kind of a first dating type thing, but Mike and I have several days that are kind of like our Valentine's Day. And, but we still do something. We, tend to go out for dinner or order food in or something. We don't really buy gifts anymore because buy each other little gifts throughout the year. And it makes it a little more special when it's just not a day. But that doesn't mean that I kind of still like Valentine's Day. I like a special day where you can tell people you love them. And I don't just, on that day, I will tell anybody I want to who I love. Because, I've talked about this many times on my show before. There was a time that, my family never ever said I love you. And now I've just come to the point where I tell people what they mean to me. And I'm not afraid to use the word love. And there are, many friends out there that I could use the love word for. And I don't think the more I say it, the more it lessens it. If I'm saying it to you, it means it's true. Now, yes, there's degrees of love, and there's people that I love more than others, but to me it's not a game. It's just, some people I need to say it to more. Other people, the first time I say it to them, you can tell it's a little weird, or they say it right back to me, depending on the situation. And I don't necessarily wait till Valentine's Day, but it's a nice day to, surprise somebody with that. I do have to admit, there's a lot of cheesy stuff that comes out at Valentine's Day. Some of those animatronic animals, like you have a monkey, that strip dances to, I'm sexy and I know it, or, Love Machine, and you got some kind of like lizard that that kind of stuff I never understood. Even honestly, to, those little bears and stuff that have the hearts in them. Now, don't get me wrong, I've gotten some of them. Mike's given me some of them, and I still absolutely adore them. But they do get a little bit big, but I still think they're, quite nice. But some of it is downright gaudy. And, all I can say is that it's, if that's your thing. Some people, might like a dog that sings, Love Me Tender, or, something like that. So if that's your thing, by all means, enjoy it, Why not Valentine's Day be a little campy? Christmas has gotten campy, Halloween has gotten campy. Why not Valentine's Day? So, as I said, I'm not afraid to say I love you, and I don't have to wait till Valentine's Day to do it. I remember when we were kids in school, I always remembered we'd make those envelopes. We'd always like buy those store-bought Valentine's cards. And you'd get like 25 in a pack or something, and it could be like Mickey Mouse or, they still have them. Now they'll have like Disney princesses, or they'll have, DC heroes or the Marvel heroes or whatever, just whatever. And we used to have them too. I remember, Winnie the Pooh or Charlie Brown or Mickey Mouse, and you'd like buy them, and then you'd pick who you wanted to send it to. And then we'd always make these envelopes up. I know now you can literally buy mailboxes, but to me I think that's kind of silly. We used to love getting those big craft envelopes, and you decorate them for Valentine's Day, and then on Valentine's Day I remember that we taped it onto our desk, and then the teacher said, okay, you can give your Valentine's Day out. And they'd always just do it just before recess. Now, I grew up back in the day when you would just give them to the people you wanted to. And I think it was that was awesome back then. I know a lot of, modern parents would just be like, oh, that's horrible, what if But you know what? It's, as I said, it showed you who your friends were, and, and I think that was a good thing. I think nowadays you have to like give them to everybody in the class. And, some people have to buy little gifts. And to me, that's just downright expensive and just ridiculous. I thought even having to buy like the little, couple buck Valentine's Day sets was just a little crazy too. But, then you'd get your craft envelope and say, hey, I got like 17 Valentines. People must really like me. But, you'd notice maybe the odd person that didn't give you one. But, I don't remember being devastated. And I don't remember any kids, like there might have been a kids who got a little less, but I think you cherished every one that you got. Because you realize, hey, that person liked me and stuff like that. Now I think you just probably open it and, okay, yeah, checklist, everybody in the class sent me one, what a surprise. Now I know there's probably some people that are probably, in a fetal position right now, remembering checking their craft envelopes and realizing, hey, I didn't get any, or I only got one or two. And, yes, it would be traumatic as a child to get that. But I think back then it was real. You really found out the person you were. And I think for me, that's what made me grow as a person. I honestly think I would not learn anything from just, the whole class gave me something. I think, to me, I would cherish the couple that I got. I'd always be like, I remember even in high school, they would do Carnation Day, and you could like buy a carnation and send it to people. And you didn't have to buy it for the whole class. It was just a fundraising thing. And I remember the kids would show up at the door, and they'd be bringing, carnations to people. And I knew I was never going to get one. And it did make me a little bit sad. But then I realized, well, I didn't really send anyone to anyone either. Being, a closeted gay boy, it's not like I could send, flowers to my crushes back then. But I remember I'd always be hopeful, and I'd always remember seeing some of the other people in the class being hopeful, and then you'd wind up seeing like the same 4 people get, all the carnations from their friends and admirers and stuff. But that made me strong as a person, protecting people from, stuff like that is heartbreaking. I don't think it makes them better. I just think it ups the ante of anxiety. Because I'd rather know that I'm not getting any flowers than, oh, I got all these forced Valentine's Day. It puts me in a false sense of reality, and then once I'm let off into the world, I start realizing that, hey, the whole world doesn't like me. And then you go through a journey where you find out that doesn't matter anyhow. But because everybody's like so worried about stepping on their emotions now, I think people forget about that. I know when I tell people I love them, I've heard some people say that, you shouldn't use that word for just everybody. I said, well, I don't. I pick and choose. Sometimes it'll be a form of love. But there's only a handful of people that I can actually, just say, I love you. Like, love. Like, please, no, this is, like, sincere, deep love, And I'll write more, in stuff, or tell them face to face. But, I think a casual, well, I really love having you in my life, or I love, that's true, it's sincere. I wouldn't say it if I've never meant it. But some people are still like, well, you shouldn't use it. It lessens it. And I think that's just kind of rubbish. Because then, if you think about it, when I used to get Valentines, I wouldn't get some from everybody in the class. And I knew, okay, these are my friends. These are people who like me. And I always remember you'd get one from somebody that you didn't even think thought of you. And it would always be a nice feeling. So, if your kids are now forced to give everybody a Valentine's Day card, that's forced love. Because you're basically telling everyone, I want to be your Valentine. And that means that gives those kids a false sense of reality. And I'm sorry if this sounds mean or cruel, but to me, we just pamper kids a little too much. I think what made me the person I am, like, yes, I'm super sensitive, but I'm a very caring person. I'm a loyal person. Anybody who knows me knows that. How did that happen? Well, it didn't happen from everybody telling me I was special. It didn't happen because my parents, just told me good things and positive things. They didn't spoil me with everything that I've ever asked. I didn't get Valentines from everybody just so people wouldn't be hurt. I became a good person because I had to work at it, because I knew that that's the kind of person I had to be. Now, you don't have to work at it. You can be an absolute ass, and when you check that mailbox, you're still going to have a card from everybody in the school. And what does that teach? Hey, I could be an asshole. It doesn't really matter. So, I find a lot of the people who say, I don't need a special day, like Valentine's Day, to tell the people that mean something to me I love them. I can do it any time I damn well please. Well, I'll tell you something. I personally find that those people that say they don't need a day don't usually say that any other time of the year either. They just don't like the whole concept of, the world telling you what to do. Well, you know what? If that's the case, then cancel weddings, cancel parties, birthday parties. Cancel everything, because technically they are special days that the world is telling you what you have to do. Okay? That's just my thoughts on Valentine's Day, and I truly agree. And thank you for joining me for this Valentine's Day special. I am going to tell you I love you. And that is sincere, because anybody who takes their time to listen to me, whether it be for a segment or episodes or one episode, that tells me you're at least giving me a chance, and that makes me really, really love you. For my next segment, last week I talked about returning to the stage, and I've got a rehearsal under my belt, and I decided to take my Steppin' Out recorder with me and talk a little Valentine's Day with my cast and crew, and I had a great time with it. I've already, Heather and I have put together a promo that some of you may have listened to, but coming up in the next segment, we've got the full interviews, and they're about 5 minutes each, and I'm excited to go backstage on how we first met, because I will promote this show as many times as I can, okay? So look for the poster and the YouTube, and if you don't have the poster, it's at the Staircase Theater, February 13th and 14th, 2016. I should say that in case you're listening to this late and you're trying to, order tickets in the middle of November. Anyhow, it's a great show. It's at the Staircase, 27 Dundurn Street. You can order tickets at 905-529-3000. And I'd love to see you there. Anyhow, Steppin' Out's coming up next, and we are going to talk to the cast of how we first met. A wonderful improv show that we will be doing on those dates I've just mentioned. So stay tuned. That's up next. Hello, and you're stepping out with Devlin Bishop. I'm backstage at the Staircase Theatre where we're getting ready for our first rehearsal of the romantic improv Valentine's Day show, How We First Met, a tradition here at the Staircase we've been doing for I don't know how many years, but it's always got an amazing cast, and it's such a feel-good show. And tonight I am here, decided to do some recording, and I'm hoping I can steal away some of my cast and crew tonight, and a wonderful group that I get to work with every year and get to talk to them about Valentine's Day. So, let's see if I can round up some people. I am here with Colette Kendall, the producer and one of the stars of How We First Met. How'd you find out about the show?
Actually, it was Kevin Patrick Robbins that first brought it to the Staircase years and years ago.
That's right.
And at that time, he asked me to be one of the players in it and loved it. It was fantastic, just one of those shows. And Kevin went on and moved on to other things, going to Toronto to starting at the Impatient Theatre Company. And I ended up taking over the Staircase, and it was like, yep, this is definitely going to happen every year.
And this is a show you always are committed to.
Yeah, this is our eighth production of it.
And what do you love about it the most?
It's just win-win for everybody. The improvisers always walk away from it just going, gee, that felt really good. So much fun. And the people that are interview. Yeah, the people that are interviewed, that are actually intimately involved with it. Mostly I hear from them as made me fall in love all over again, which is fantastic. And then the audience absolutely loves it. They just do. Even if they don't get on stage, they're at the end of it, they're wishing. If they start out coming in going, there's no way I want to be on stage, by the end of the night, they're going, gee, I wish I had been on stage.
Which is a nice feeling.
Yeah, which is great. Yeah.
Are you a fan of Valentine's Day? I know you're more of a Halloween girl.
I'm more of a Halloween girl, but Valentine's Day, as long as it's celebrated kind of in your own way. I've never really made a big deal out of it or expected anything from it. But, what can be wrong, even if it's like horribly, horribly, what am I looking for, the word? Materialistic sort of thing and commercial, even if that's the route that it horribly went. I mean, really, what can be wrong with celebrating love on one day of the year? As long as you don't... You don't
want one of those singing dogs that sing Love Me Tender as Elvis?
No, I don't need that.
They are kind of creepy, aren't they? I always see people buying them, and I'm like, who would enjoy this?
The same people that buy those talking fish.
So when you get romantic, what movie would you pop in for a romantic evening?
For a romantic evening? Honestly, I don't think I do romantic evenings. No.
Okay, what do you put in for a hot sexual?
That's right. I'm just more hardcore. Come on, let's cut this bullshit. Let's just...
So you put on porn is what you're trying to tell me.
No, but I mean, stuff that, anything that, I find anything that makes me laugh or just lets me connect with the person.
Nice.
I mean, Princess Bride is awesome, right?
And then you connect with the person and you talk about it. Yeah, it is.
It is, but it's
romantic,
funny,
but it's got comedy.
Yeah, perfect.
Convince people to go see How We First Met. What would you tell them? Since you'd like to promote this show, let's promote it.
Yeah, How We First Met. First off, fantastic show. The line of improvisers that I have every year are some of the top improvisers. There was somebody called us tonight, old school improvisers.
Yeah, I know.
Been around for a while. And
I remember when I was the young person starting, and now I'm furniture here.
Exactly. So old school improvisers, have a lot of life experience under their belt as well too, and just, what, it's cheap. First off, $25. You're gonna come. You're gonna laugh.
That's per couple.
25 per couple, 15 per person. You don't have to be a couple. We have interviewed and had fun with anybody that's been married for 40 years to just got engaged. We've had same-sex couples on. We've had people that are friends that celebrating love through friendship, right?
Which I like,
yeah. It's great because it's like love knows no bounds. And we've even had brother and sister. I remember they were twins or something like that. I forget, but and just celebrated kind of like that relationship.
Just a night of love.
It's just a night of love and celebrating each other. And
so come in for the staircase love-in.
That's right.
How we first met. So we should promote it.
We should. No, it's fantastic. You'll go away going, hey, that was a great night. You can grab yourself a drink beforehand at the bar, and grab a little something to eat, something to nibble on, and then come in, see a fantastic show, and leave. What the hell?
Sounds great.
Yeah.
Thanks for this interview.
You're welcome.
I know you really love doing it.
Hate interviews.
I'm backstage, and I'm here with Mart Alas. He is a regular here, the Staircase Improv, and probably one of my best friends here.
Aww.
He was the first guy I ever did a scene with, and thank God he was awesome because I came back.
Oh, that's good. We're really glad that you came back many, 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 many times over the years.
I'm very excited having you here. I actually want you for a full podcast one day.
Okay, we'll talk about it.
We'll talk to your agent.
We'll have my people call your people or vice versa.
Now, you've done How We First Met several times. What do you like about this show?
It's kind of a nice way to give people a glimpse memory of what they were like, kind of seen from the outside.
Mm-hmm.
They can be the fly in the wall seeing, how they first met.
Yeah, I love when I host it because I not only get to see you guys perform the scenes of their love, but I get to see their reaction, and most of them are really positive.
Yeah.
And I just love seeing you guys portraying them.
Yeah, well, it's also fun because sometimes when we play through things, then they reveal more about what actually happened. I remember last year we had a couple that they seemed really nice and quiet, but they had a wild side back in the day.
I know, it's fun when we get that out of them. Have you ever played a character that you were worried about because there was just so much material that you were afraid you could take it to a dark place?
No, I don't think there was anything like that. I know there was one where the meeting was, they described it as a sticky situation. It was actually, I don't know if I should say, they met...
we don't have their names, so...
Yeah, discovering a common friend who had passed away.
Yes.
So they described it as a sticky situation, and we were like, okay, how do we approach this?
It was a suicide, too, I believe.
Yes, I believe
came into a suicide. Yeah. It's like, oh, yeah, make this funny.
Yeah, so, they said it was a sticky situation, so we came in making sound effects as though we were sticking to the floor. And
yeah, I know when I found out that was actually how they first met, was through going over and consoling somebody after a suicide. I thought, have fun with this. This is rough.
Yeah.
But you guys, as pros, did it. No problem.
Yeah, which I think we also, when we were doing a run-through practice, we were just throwing up ridiculous offers that they met at a funeral. We're like, oh, yeah, that's never going to happen. And then sure enough, it kind of happened.
Yeah, it did. Are you single this Valentine's Day?
Unfortunately, I am, as usual.
We'll throw your picture number up if you want.
Okay, cool, great.
My 17 listeners, you never know.
Yeah.
He's a catch, lady, trust me. I love this man.
Yeah, you never know. Single people might be coming to watch the show.
As a single person, is Valentine's Day hard, or do you just ignore it, or do you actually go out? Well, you're going to be with me.
Yes, I'm going to spend my evening with you, so it's fine. Yes. I kind of just ignore it because it doesn't apply to me.
Don't you think you can go out and treat yourself or something?
Well, I have been treating myself to the show the past couple of years, so...
Good answer.
Yeah, it's good.
When you are with a special someone, what would be a movie you would put on to set the mood, or you got a favorite movie that sets the mood?
Depending on who it is, possibly Shaun of the Dead, because that is it's a romantic comedy with zombies. That That's
your go-to romance movie.
For the moment, yeah, until I find a better one.
There's probably a lot of people like saying, "Oh, well, the lights just went off."
No, it's okay. We still have time.
I know. I'm now in the dark here with this might be a new segment with Mart Alas.
In the dark with Mart.
All right. We'll leave it there. Thank you for chatting with me.
You're welcome.
And
thanks for having me.
Happy Valentine's Day.
To you too.
I am here now with Peter Jonasson. He's been part of the Staircase How We First Met cast for several years. I've known this gentleman for a long, long time. How are you tonight?
I'm good, Devlin. Thank you.
Are you looking forward to doing the show?
Oh, very much. I always look forward to doing the How We First Met.
Yes, and you're going to be doing it with your wife.
Indeed, I am.
The show I'm talking about.
Yes, the show, the lovely Kim. We won't be doing it on the show, but we will be together at the show.
Yes, unfortunately, Kim couldn't be here tonight. But,
that's right. She's in another rehearsal.
That's right. And you guys love doing this show. Why? What do you love about it?
You know, it's just being able to play the other people and to see their reaction to how you interpret what their offer is. You go out there and you make it a little bit funny, and they just look at it a different way, and seeing the smiles on their faces, it's very satisfying.
Yes. The crowd's getting a little crazy. They're looking up Urban Dictionary stuff, and
they are.
We're learning way too much about people. You and Kim are probably one of the cutest couples I know. And
well, thank you.
You were very romantic. Like, I remember you always make sure Kim has flowers when she has a performance on her opening night. And I remember one time you got me to get flowers.
That's right, I did.
When you couldn't be there because you were at the Olympics.
I was overseas some places, I recall.
Right, and you contacted me a couple months before. We had this planned, and I remember Kim just practically burst into tears when I said, "These are from Bear." Have you always been a romantic guy?
Yeah, I pretty well have always been a romantic guy. Kim and I, we actually met here at the Staircase.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, How We First Met story here.
How we first met story. We actually met here at the Staircase, and
let me guess, improv.
Indeed, it was indeed improv many years ago. And then we actually got married here as a result of that, because we cared so much for the place and loved the improv so much. And we've always just been very romantic. The one thing you learn in improv is basically you have to trust the people you're playing with, and when you fall in love with another improviser, that trust just blossoms into many other things. And in our case, it blossomed into romance. I'm going to start crying.
I was about to say.
So sappy.
That doesn't get people out to improv boot camp. I don't know what will. You could fall in love with someone.
You could. Just imagine, marry another improviser and never have a dull day for the rest of your life.
Do you have a favorite Valentine's Day moment?
Wow. You mean in the show?
No, anywhere. Yeah, I know usually our Valentines were in the show. But...
No, not really. There's no favorite Valentine's Day moment.
I assume you and Kim are just romantic all the time with one another.
Yeah, we try to do that. We try not to make as many. There were a few special dates, but they're special dates that we invent ourselves. Like
nice.
Like Kim. Like for example, yesterday. Groundhog Day. That was yesterday, wasn't it?
Yes,
it was.
Yes.
That was the day Kim chose to quit smoking.
Very nice.
So she has been smoke-free for 18 years.
And that's a great reason to celebrate.
We pick a couple and we go out for dinner, and Kim picks up the tab because it's so much cheaper than smoking cigarettes. So it's just something. We just pick a date and we do something randomly and we enjoy it.
Nice. One last question.
Sure.
You're away from Kim for a bit. Sometimes you're away because of work and stuff.
Yep.
A song that makes you think of her immediately?
Oh, God.
I'm sure there's many, but is there one that sticks out that you hear?
Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend is the big one. Whenever she starts, I hear that anywhere, I immediately think of Kim.
Is there a reason why? Does she sing that around the house?
No, it's just that's kind of like her signature karaoke song. You know,
nice.
She has a song that she nails, and that song was important to her. It was important to her mom, and it's just the song.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for spending this time for me. I look forward to playing with you on stage as always.
You bet. I'm looking forward to it, too. It'll be a lot of fun. Again.
All right. I'm backstage, literally, with Josh Obermeyer. Regular fans know Mr. Obermeyer. He's been on my show twice, probably a third very soon.
Hello, hello.
And I'm going to ask you some Valentine's Day questions, if that's cool for you.
Absolutely.
Everybody wants to know, are you single during this Valentine's Day?
Yeah.
Yeah? Oh, he answers that suspiciously. I don't buy it. That means he's getting something, though.
Whoa, hey now. Not putting words in my mouth.
Does Valentine's Day mean anything to you?
It's kind of sad, but no, not really. I don't feel I need a day to go away to tell people that I love them.
Would you, though, if you were in a relationship? Would you feel like peer pressure is forcing you to?
It really depends who I'm with.
Yeah.
A lot of people that I've talked to, and a lot of people that even I've been involved with, aren't huge on the idea of the Valentine's Day. Like, oh, don't make a big fuss. Like, it doesn't have to be anything crazy. You can do a gesture if you want to, but for me, I think of it as another day.
People who know you from my show know you're damn sexy and really dirty. And you think you're romantic, though?
I can be romantic.
Can you?
Yeah, I can be romantic. I can light some candles, get a rose out, do a back rub.
Oh, very nice. Yeah, that's what we'll be doing after this.
That's what we're doing right now.
What's your favorite romantic song? Do you have something you'd put on to be sexy?
Oh, my favorite. Okay, now are we talking sexy? Are we talking like striptease sexy or just like mood setting?
If you were to striptease for me right now, what would you put on?
Hot-Blooded by Foreigner. 100%. That's not even a question.
Check it and see. I'd have a fever of 103 of you stripped right now. Yeah. Oh, sorry. I haven't got.
Breathe.
Yeah. Have you ever got a weird Valentine's Day from somebody?
A weird Valentine's Day?
Yeah, like something that you were like, oh, this flags and whistles. Better get away from this relationship. We won't name names.
I can't say I have.
No.
No, I've actually only really ever been dating somebody 2 or 3 Valentines in my life. So, and they were all pretty standard, normal, good Valentine's Day. There weren't anything strange or weird. There wasn't any here I'm coming to chip off your toenails or something like that and build a shrine. Nothing like that's happened. So
the fact that comes through your head just makes me want you more.
I just think of some weird stuff sometimes. Just imagine, what would be the weirdest thing you do on Valentine's Day?
Have you ever had anyone obsessed with you?
I have. That was an interesting experience back in university. Yeah,
that's cool.
Did
it? I guess you're still here, so it ended well.
I'm still here, so it ended well. It was very, very respectful, the whole thing. But yes, there was an individual who decided to write me books of poetry and stuff,
Sweet.
And informed me that after our first conversation that I was the one.
Wow.
The conversation was not long.
You said you'd never tell anyone. It was not me. I did not know him then. Go ahead, drink.
I'm sorry, you didn't know me then.
Oh, yeah, I did know you?
Yeah, you would have known me then. It wasn't you.
Yeah. Okay, no, it wasn't me.
I would have accepted your advances. What?
Hey. I always find this when I'm in a relationship, you know? I'd have more luck if I wasn't in a relationship, but what can I do? Let's see, what can I undo? Let's end with the romantic song. Okay, now, no stripping involved. What do you consider...
A good consider?
Yes, like a song that you would put high up on your list if you were getting married and you need one of those songs.
Oh, a good romantic song. Now I'm torn between being cliche and trying to be original.
Okay, start with cliche.
Cliche has got to be good old Aerosmith's Don't Want to Miss a Thing.
Oh.
Because that's just the one that, growing up, that was everywhere.
That's a great wedding song, too. Because when he sings, like...
Oh, bartending so much too. I've heard every wedding playlist imaginable, so I've heard every Beat the Other song under the sun in most combinations.
Your original love song?
My original love song that I would want to go.
We've caught him off guard.
Yeah, this is a legitimately difficult question.
How about an artist that...
Don't know why Bon Jovi comes to mind, and by that saying, I might go with Living on a Prayer.
Living on a Prayer.
I don't know why that's going to be romantic, but I think romance, I think Bon Jovi, I think Living on a Prayer. Maybe I'm just a really bad glam metal boy stuck in the 1980s. But
is that even a song about romance? Well, it's what two people...
perseverance and making
two people fight the odds.
Yeah, that's kind of like a good modern romance song.
Yeah, Bed of Roses is a little creepy.
Yeah, Bed of Roses is a little weird.
I like it, but it's like...
Anytime I see a rose, I just think of the awful sex scenes from The Room and Tell Me Why So, and just
You should choose those songs.
Oh,
Those songs are just wrong.
You are my rose,
yeah, I have to see if they're downloadable on YouTube.
Oh, they gotta be. And if they are...
All right, Josh, thank you for... I didn't think we'd end with a but yeah, that could have been anything.
Careful what you wish for.
Anyhow, I'm going to go get my back rub from Josh now, and thanks for talking Valentine's with me.
Anytime. Light those candles.
I am here now with Wayne Scott. He is a regular member of the Staircase Improv Troupe, and I've known him for my whole existence here at the Staircase. And he is one funny fucking man. That's a weird intro, but we'll go with it. We'll go with it.
Thank you. I'll take that anytime.
How many times you get funny fucking in your intro, right?
Well, not since my honeymoon, but yeah.
So you were part of the How We First Met cast, and you've done it for several years.
Yep. Yeah, it's way back from the beginning. I think almost 8 years back now.
So what do you love about this show?
Oh, wow. You know, it is my favorite reoccurring show that happens at the Staircase to watch and be part of. And it's just so friendly. What always amazes me year after year is the wonderful people that come down from the audience to help make the show happen, and the wonderful things that they share with us, and more importantly, the way that everybody can relate to the stories. And as we're sitting there listening to it, and the audience is all absorbed with it, I'm absorbed with it, I'm laughing with it. It's just a wonderful time.
I absolutely agree. It is probably like nothing we've ever do on this stage.
No,
for sure.
No, it's just amazing.
Now, what does Valentine's Day mean with you? You've been married how long?
Oh, wow.
I know you try to forget, but...
well, yeah.
Have I put you on the spot here?
No, it's 38 years.
38, wow.
38 years, yeah.
And you still do stuff on Valentine's Day? Well, I know you
do
the
show.
Do you make up for it later, or are you at that stage where we don't do anything special?
Well, I'll be honest. If you're doing Valentine's Day, as you go through your stages of life, you do it in the beginning to be romantic and a chance to give gifts and receive gifts and all that. And then as life carries on for 38 years, there's been a lot of gifts and things that happen. And eventually you get to that wonderful spot where, I wouldn't say necessarily every day, but most certainly every week, you're finding a way to share something special with that person. So I don't want to say every day is Valentine's Day,
no, but
they're all special, and we recognize it at home with a kiss or a special dinner, or it's
just something,
just something to say, hey, it's a special day, and you're still my Valentine.
Excellent. What do you think the secret of a long marriage is?
Being deaf, dumb, and blind. That would work absolutely awesome. The secret, wow. I have been asked that before, and I don't know if there's a great answer to it. I mean, the honest things, or the things that I would say is to be honest with each other, to share, to appreciate and recognize what the other person is, what's happening in their life and the things that are special to them, and making sure you find ways to become part of that and continue to share it with the person. So it's always developing relationships. So now we have, 4 kids. They're all out of the house, and I can tell you right now, if you don't know, but we're expecting our first grandchild.
No, I didn't.
Yeah,
awesome.
And it's for February 17th is the due date for my daughter Tracy. And
really?
Her guy.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And we have a son that was actually born on Valentine's Day, Kyle. And
really?
I'll just tell you real quickly, when we were in the hospital, he's born on Valentine's Day, and the nurse, brought him to us and everything else. And she said, "Oh, what a beautiful baby." And I said, "Well, we already have a name picked out." And she said, "Oh, that's cute." And I said, "What?" And I said, "Valentino." And she looked at me with this, how the eyes kind of crinkle at the corners. And she came to my wife later and said, "You're not really going to let your husband call the little baby Valentino, are you?" And she goes, "Oh, no, she didn't tell you that story, did he?"
That's awesome.
I don't know if I answered your question, but this is where we ended up.
It worked good. Final question. Do you and Shelley have a song? Do you remember your wedding song? Did you have one?
Oh.
Don't mean to put you on the spot. I don't think Shelley's a regular listener, so we're okay.
We are perfectly okay, I think, in that neighborhood. Special song. We actually, when we were the first year that we were married, we took a trip down east to where like her family is, and on the way down that year, there was a big going on with two bits of music. One was from Greece, and the other one was from Olivia Newton-John. Her album Mystery, Magic.
Yes.
So somewhere between Olivia's Magic and Greece's.
You're the one that I want, or Summer Nights?
You're the one that I want. I mean the hip swaying and everything. It was fun. So yeah, I mean it's the music from way back when that it comes on the radio and we both kind of start singing and jamming to it, and
nice.
Yeah, you kind of forget where time went.
I'm a big Olivia Newton-John fan. You picked my favorite song, Magic. I love you even more. Thank you for talking to me about Valentine's.
Thank you, Devlin, and thank you for asking me to be a part of it.
Welcome back. It's the Valentine's Day show, and I actually have a guest sitting next to me. It's just jam-packed with people. First, you got to hear some interviews with how we first met people, and now I have another guest with me. When I was thinking of segments to do for the Valentine's Day show, it was actually Corda who said, you know what, you should do another segment with Mike. And so I have got my partner Mike with me, and you can say hello.
Hello.
He's trained well. So before we get started talking about Valentine's Day and stuff, is there anything you want to say to Heather or Corda to thank her for getting you on another segment?
No, just that hopefully we can get her on more segments.
Oh, you want more? Oh, her on more. Yeah. So, yeah, we'll definitely try. You actually now are officially have been on more shows, because you've been on 3, I believe. We've talked, we did the Thanksgiving thing with Corda, and then right now. Mm-hmm. So I think that is the thing. Unless you count, I just did an interview with Josh, too, so you kind of tie up. But that's not important now. It's Valentine's Day, and we are going to talk about whatever strikes our fancy. So I've told the story about how we met, and I don't know, what was it about me that first got your attention? Putting him on the spot.
Well, you seem very friendly. I remember when I first saw you.
We met at a gay support group, which was just basically a bunch of lesbians talking. And then they would leave. I think I mentioned this before. They would leave to go to a lesbian meeting, and then we had about a half hour to get a word in edgewise.
It was strange because, I can't remember the meeting was, about 2 hours, I guess. And
it was 2 hours.
They'd be there for the first hour and a half, and then all of a sudden it's like, okay, we're off, and they leave.
I know, they'd sit and talk about all their problems, and then they'd go to talk to other women, and then we were just kind of like, oh.
We gotta go if we're gonna make the good meeting now.
Yeah, I know, it was kind of weird, and then everything fell in place. The same thing, I remember seeing you and thought, wow, he's pretty cute, and then you disappeared for the final one of the year, they closed it off for the summer. And that's when I found out that you were what did you have?
Kidney stones.
Kidney stones. So I was excited. I was going to make my big move and talk to you, and then you were nowhere. And everybody in the group, that's when I knew everybody in the group was actually after you, because they were like, oh, where's Mike, And I'm thinking, oh, shit. And then the summer went, I, just went on with my life.
I wasn't laid up in the house or anything, but anyone who's been through it knows that after they've been through it for a few days and have been on morphine and stuff, that suddenly going to a meeting may not be your first priority. So I thought, I guess I'm going to miss this one.
And then we met up again in the fall, and it was magical. I told that story and everything like that. Is it hard to believe that we've been together so long? Because some days I still think we were just going through the dating phases.
No, it seems, I guess it would almost seem like it's been maybe about 7 or 8 years. I have to stop and remind myself, no, it's 15.
Yeah, it is hard to believe, but those early days were kind of fun, though. I really liked the dating. And when we say dating, I think we went out shopping, and we did do the dinner thing. Mm-hmm. We went to that place, and that's a couple of times I thought that it wasn't going to work out.
Yeah, we went to a place called the Bombay Club, I believe.
Something like that.
Long gone. It probably closed like the year after we met.
Yeah, I remember I had chicken fingers, and I kept thinking, geez, is he going to think I'm like a child? Like I'm ordering off the child's menu?
I remember it seemed like we were in the back opening up the McCain's chicken fingers and just putting them in the oven.
Yeah. This is our first official date. He had drove me home, and we had talked on the phone, but this was our first official date. And both of us were fairly new to the whole dating scene, so we were very happy that didn't last too long, because then we'd just go to movies and hang out. And
well, I know the first time we got together, we went Christmas shopping.
That's right.
Yeah, we went to the Zellers at Center Mall, also long gone.
Yeah, so every place we've been at is gone now, so if we visited your house and then I was I'll be careful. Yeah, but I remember that first date, I had the chicken fingers, and I remember a couple things happened that were pretty funny. I remember Piano Man came up, which is not a song that you'd expect to come up in a gay bar, but they had a jukebox, if I recall, or something, and somebody played Billy Joel's Piano Man, and you made a comment about, like, here we go, or something, and I thought, who doesn't like Piano Man? And you later said, it's not that you hated it, you just thought it was overplayed or something, or do you literally hate?
No, I don't hate it, I just, it's probably at a point in my life where, at the job I was at the time, they usually had a K-light on in the background the whole shift, so I heard the song a lot.
and then later on, we were driving in the car, and Billy Joel's The Longest Time came up, and he was like, oh my God. And I'm like, what is his thing with Billy Joel? But seriously, he does like some Billy Joel songs. Don't even get him started on We Didn't Start the Fire. So anyhow, after he didn't like Piano Man, I had my hesitations. But my favorite part, about that first date was when you dropped me off like 4 blocks from my house. And I swear I was almost going to do a tuck and roll.
I think I even made a comment like, this should be good enough.
He said, this should be good enough. And I really thought the date went shitty, because I thought, this is really nowhere near my house. He drove off, and I had a good 4 or 5 block walk to think about, what did I do to fuck up this date? And I called you later that night and said, did I do something to offend you? And I think you just thought it was closer, didn't you?
Yeah, I literally thought I was just a few houses down from where you live.
Yeah. So the fact that we made it to a first date is,
there was like an opening where I could actually pull my car in to let you out. That's why I said this should be good enough. Because I thought, his house is right there anyways.
Yeah, no, it was nowhere near. Then you met the day you met my friends. You remember Dave and Heather?
Yeah.
Yeah, you were nervous about that because I
Corda.
rambled,
Yeah,
right? Corda. Yeah, we call her Corda Heather. They all know her. We've given away her identity many times. But anyway, you were really nervous about that day. I made it a simple movie night.
Yeah, well, I'd heard lots of stories about them.
Right.
I've heard Corda's voice in the background.
And I think you knew that my opinions were high on them, so you knew if I don't make it, then this could be a problem.
Yeah.
And with Dave, that could be anything, right? But they wound up loving you, and they thought it was great, and we spent the millennium together, the New Year's Eve. Mm-hmm. And I remember you got really drunk that night, which is not something you do that often.
Yeah.
I would say that was the only time I've ever seen you. I've seen you tipsy before, but
that was probably the last time I was like, rip roaring, like crawling on the floor drunk.
Yeah, I think that was the time we knew we were going to be together, because I remember, here's the big millennium. We're changing from 99 to 2000. And I remember it was funny because I had this glitter back when I wore glitter. And I had this cinnamon glitter that I put on once in a while. Yeah, and I wore it that night. And I had the container out there, and I noticed that Mike was starting to get more and more sparkly as the night went on, and he actually smelt like cinnamon and booze, you know. But my favorite part is just before the millennium, you had to throw up. Yeah. Are you okay that I'm sharing this story? Yeah. This is funny as hell. But anyhow, so literally I thought I was going to miss the millennium because I was holding your hair back. Okay, I wasn't, but I was in the bathroom with him because I was worried about him. And I remember we had a music mix on, and you probably don't remember this, but I remember you throwing up violently. Well, maybe not violently, but it adds color to the story. And I remember just hearing in the background Paul McCartney's Coming Up. And I thought it was kind of ironic. Well, we managed to get him out just before the millennium. And he stayed over that night, and he was dead to the world the next day. And I remember trekking, Mike didn't eat a lot of foods back then. He didn't try a lot, and I wasn't a great cook. So, I could only talk him into eating some hot dogs. And so I literally had to trek out on New Year's Day to find hot dogs. And I think you've told me that you thought that was it. You thought you had blown it. And yeah. But you also were endeared that I went and got the hot dogs.
And relish, too.
And relish, yeah, because I never had relish around the house. With relish. So that's it. We made it through.
And as we all know, the world didn't end the next day.
No.
Like a lot of people thought.
No, I tried to actually have a couple friends over that night because I thought if the world's going to end, I'm going to end it with the people I want to be with. And so it was quite nice. Now, we don't argue, really. We don't fight. And when I say that to people, I can already tell that in their head they're rolling their eyes because everybody argues. I'm not saying we don't have disagreements, but we have never had an out-and-out fight.
Yeah, I can't really... I know some people claim, oh, it's healthy, and if there's no, conflict in your relationship, it's not a healthy relationship. I just couldn't imagine just going off on you for, an hour, like I know some people do. Just berating and screaming at you. I just couldn't imagine doing that.
Now I'm also... I don't know if this was a scare tactic, but I remember that one of the first arguments we had and my voice started getting raised, you actually literally got sick to your stomach. And next thing I know, I'm trying to prove a point and you're in there having another throw up. This is a great Valentine's Day story. And I thought to myself, well, this is great. We can't even discuss things because he gets upset thinking we're going to break up and stuff. But that wasn't even an argument. That was just me getting loud. Now, I have had diva moments. I'm sure I still, to this day, you remember the day you were doing something with the birds or the squirrel on the thing. Do you remember that at all when I yelled at you?
Oh, when these pigeons kept landing on our balcony and I just lost my temper. I just screamed, get out of here at them through the window.
Yeah, so that, we live in an apartment. So here's him out the window yelling, get out of here! And do you remember when I yelled at you?
We're not becoming those kind of people.
Yeah, we're not going to be those people that yell at the birds. But anyhow, no, we talk things out. We've had disagreements, but I think we work. And when I get into my pissy moods, you just let me be quiet or know when I... Let's talk about happy stuff, like Valentine's Day. Do you feel bad that the last couple of years I've hosted How We First Met and I kind of abandoned you on Valentine's Day? Is that a big deal?
No, because you do nice things for me all year round. I'm not really sitting around thinking, oh, he's better come through this Valentine's Day or there'll be trouble kind of attitude.
And as I said, we usually do a dinner or something beforehand and we plan it ahead or after. Mm-hmm. I think this year we're already talking about doing Chinese food. We're really obsessed with the Chinese food place. Friendship Chinese. Yeah, you'll have to look it up online. It's a really great place. But ever since we've been introduced to it, I think we've had it about 3 or 4 times or something. And I think we're going to do that again. But I'm glad that you don't feel abandoned. And it's a show. Have you ever seen How We First Met? I don't think I forced you to it. Where I interview the couples.
I know I've seen lots of different kinds. I don't recall ever seeing one where there was couples on stage.
Yeah. I don't force Mike to every one of my shows. Here's another little secret to our romance, is that I don't force him to every show. I told him if my name's in the title, mostly he'll have to go, or if I say, I really want you for this show.
So if it's Devlin's How We First Met next year, well...
Yeah, I can't do that. It's not my copyright. It's a lady by Jill Bork. I have to give her, every time you mention it, I have to mention she wrote it. I don't want anyone thinking I came up with this, though I would have loved to. But,
I never really... I know if it's really important to some people and they get a lot out of it, that's fine. I didn't really see the need where you have to have this one day of the year where it's like, this is the year where I have to prove my love to the day.
Yeah.
Because it is just, a day on the calendar.
But we have lots of, gooey little animals with hearts in their hands, and we have that one mouse that looks like he's eating a heart.
Yeah.
That we got because it looked like he's eating a heart. But, we do our own little, romantic-y stuff. But, yeah. Mm-hmm. But we like Valentine's Day because we decorate for it. We don't have massive decorations, but...
They're just a couple things.
Mike just put out a lot of our stuff, like candles and little Target heart-shaped elephants. And
if you're out for the evening doing the show on Valentine's, I'm not going to sit here stewing he's not here. It's it doesn't mean anything. I wouldn't ever feel
So what do you usually do? Do you watch TV or
I usually
go
just
on the computer?
Sit in a dark room and cry.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, because that makes it all right.
I just do stuff on the computer or watch TV, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And you should come out to How We First Met and go on with Corda. Because we do friends as well as, couples and stuff. But, I just would love to see that. Or Dave. You and Dave. That would be even funnier. Because Dave would, if anybody knows Dave, that says it all. Let's just leave it there. He's done the show before, and we hope to have him on again and stuff. But that's good. So you were nervous about the segment. The good news is we're almost done.
Mm-hmm.
So any things you look forward to doing this year as a couple?
The things we usually do. I know we're going to try and get up north again this year to see my father.
Go see your dad. Is it going to be weird this year going up and your mom not being there?
Yeah, I'm sure it will be. It's as soon as I walk in there and I just see the empty cottage, then it'll be very real. But,
yeah.
I'm not dreading it, but
No, you're also excited to see your dad and stuff.
But I also know it's almost going to be she's just in the back room or something.
Yeah, well, that's the way it is. My mother died in 1999. She didn't get a chance to meet you. She actually did hear about you, though, because I remember telling her about you and how I hoped that I would see you again. And I think she would have really liked you, because I think everybody I've introduced you to likes you. And a lot of people are like, why is Devlin with someone like that? And then they meet you, and they realize that you are very sweet, but when they really get to know you, they know there's a real sense of humor, and we have a lot more in common than people think. It's just I'm the loud one. Because honestly, could we have survived if we were both prima donnas? It would be horrible. It's absolutely horrible.
It must be hard for couples where they're both fighting to be the life of the party every time.
Yeah, as long as you keep knowing that I am that life of the party, and you're the one who. You're the wind beneath my wings. Mm-hmm. And on that lovely note, the very romantic Mike Cuthbertson and I are going to sign off. Thank you for sharing my Valentine's Day special with me. I will be back again next week, and I look forward to talking to you. Why don't you say goodbye?
Goodbye.
I'll talk to you next week.